What's up, guys? Today I'm going to be doing a TED Talk on the Great Highland Bagpipe. And so, yeah, here's a 30 seconds to a minute of bagpipe music for the second. Okay, great. Now that we've done that, we can get into the TED Talk. So, the Great Highland Bagpipe was invented in, well, not the Great Highland Bagpipe. The bagpipe was invented around the early 1800s to, give some music to life and culture and everywhere around the world. So on the right, this one right here that I got my cursor on, this is from the Middle East. This is a set of Middle Eastern bagpipes that were unique to like India and Pakistan, Afghanistan, and all the countries that had pipes in the Middle Eastern. This is what they looked like in the olden days. Top left is what you would see in ancient Rome, so like the Catholic Church or Vatican City or some in Rome is where in ancient Rome when the Romans would come in, they would have these being played, and then down here is what you would see either when you're at the school, when you see bagpipes playing at the high school, or these are the traditional, these are the Great Highland Bagpipes that I'm going to be talking about today. So be prepared and focus on this stuff. So in the early 18th century, Scottish people tend to send out and go into war against England because, well, Britain was like that at sometimes during the 18th century. So to be unique, they turned to using kilts, and I'm wearing a kilt right now. You can't see it, but I'm wearing my kilt today, and they turned to wearing kilts to be unique, and they would also send out an instrument called the bagpipe, and you know it wasn't it was a unique enough instrument to be like, okay, the Scots are here, and it's one of those instruments that is very unique to a certain era of time and a certain place. Like they're really not known here in Indiana right now. I can't really look up what is notable here in Indiana right now, but it's definitely not bagpipes or for the century. It's not pipes. It's not pipes related. So, but in the 18th century, they were going through a tough time. So, and they would always have, um, if you've ever been to Scotland, which I have, and it's usually very, very foggy, and the air is always pretty calm and still, and typically when you're around Scotland at this point in time, you'll hear bagpipes like everywhere you go. It's amazing to me. But back then it would be a selected amount of people, especially going out to war, so they would usually send out a single bagpipe player, and that single bagpipe player would uh, play, and honestly, to me, that is just super cool. Sorry if I'm adjusting my class ring, class key. But and then the British feared it so much that, and the Scots used to wear these things called Jacobites. They're basically just black long sleeve shirts. That's all I can address them by. But they were called Jacobites, and so the British feared that they feared the Scots because they heard a single bagpipe player and they thought the bagpipes were a weapon. Um, but they tried to ban the pipe. Britain actually tried to ban the bagpipes, and they did for a while, and up until around, I think I looked it up, and it said around the 1960s. So for about 200 years, 200 to 300 years, bagpipes were banned in Britain. And so these people couldn't learn bagpipes for like 200 300 years. So all the bagpipers just grew out of it. And then once they finally unbanned it, Scots tried to the Scots went over to Britain and started giving people lessons and whatnot. So, but and then at that point in time, they also were really nice about everything, and so yeah. But I know I'm just ranting, so let's move on, shall we? Bagpipes are traditionally played at up here in the top left. You'll see weddings because there are very many traditional Highland Scottish weddings that you will see these at. And funerals. Funerals is the biggest one, especially to honor fallen members like firefighters, police, New York City Police Department, they have a pipes and drums. The fire department, they have pipes and drums. Indianapolis Fire Department has public safety pipes and drums, and then they are also known in parades. Like the bagpipes of our school, we just did a parade down in Indy for St. Patrick's Day. There's also this Thanksgiving Day parade and all that fun stuff. But it's really cool to listen to bagpipes, at least to me. So up here in the top left, we have Tokyo, Cape Town, Saudi Arabia, the Netherlands, or not Saudi Arabia, it's Cape Town, South Africa. Um, and then we have New Zealand, and we have California. So, and the one thing that all of these have in common is they all have bagpipes from here. Every single place on Earth can have bagpipes. It's not just Scotland. It's not just America. It's not just Britain. The bagpipes are so diverse that anybody can play them. Now here's a rundown. So this is called the blowpipe that we blow our air into. Then we blow up the bag, and it comes out the tenor, and that plays the melody that we read. And then our drones out two tenor drones, a bass drone. The bass drone sounds an octave, if anybody knows what that is, below the two tenor drones, and they all signify to our low A note, which is the second lowest note that we play. And like I was saying earlier, all people of diverse, like here's a Nigerian man playing a set of bagpipes. That's really cool because, well, all people. Uh, here's the pipes of Saudi Arabia. Um, and they can always be included into different cultures or music. Like here's the Red Hot Chili Peppers. They are a rock band that are also known for their bagpipe players. This is Ali the Piper. She's blowing up on Instagram, Snapchat, TikTok. Go check her out. But she plays metallic tunes. Like she's played Metallica, and she plays rock music on bagpipes, which is very rare and you can't find that anywhere. So next time you hear a piper, stop and then listen for the sounds of the Highlands, but with your mouth. So what I want you to do is listen to the bagpipes and think like you're in Scotland. Think like you're looking up at the Scottish mountains, the Scottish Highland Mountains, and just think about the Highland pipe. They aren't just music, they're an identity, they're tradition, they're Scotland, but they're also, other places, but it's Scotland. There's centuries and centuries of pipers though around the world, so just listen to the notes and everything of the centuries and every note that are being played, because there have been hundreds of years of bagpipe players just ready to play for you guys. So, and with that, I'm going to leave it off with some pipe music all the way back to at the end, beginning.